Today we're doing new functions. They're called cot, sec, and cosec. Okay, so to figure out what the reciprocal is equal to, you look at the third letter. So cot is equal to, or cot theta, or cot angle, is equal to 1 over the third letter. Tells you what it is. 1 over tan theta. So it's just cot is the reciprocal of tan. It's pretty much the short summary. Sec. Sec. Any guesses what it is? 1 over cos of the angle. And the last one, cosec theta. 1 over sine of the angle. All right, next we're looking at an example, sec 7 pi over 4. So it's in radians. So what do you think is the first step?
Find out what cos, write it down as,
Write it down as the reciprocal. The third letter is C for cos. So the sec, that angle, is equal to 1 over cos that angle. So we're trying to find the exact value. So we're not typing it into a calculator. We're using a unit circle special triangle. How far is that? It's pi or 4 pi over 4. So you've got to go another 3 pi over 4. 1, 2, 3. 7 pi over 4. Or we can rewrite it as cos negative pi over 4. So we know, I think it's called the supplementary or complementary angle in the first quadrant is pi over 4. So we can look at that first. What's cos pi over 4 equal to? Do you remember your special triangles? The adjacent over the hypotenuse, which is 1 over root 2. So let's leave it like that, right? Now we're going to sub it in. So sec 7 pi over 4 is 1 divided by a fraction. What happens to the fraction? Keep, change, flip. It becomes square root 2 over 1, which is just square root 2. You've done graphing sine, cos and tan, right? So now we're going to do graphing a reciprocal. Has anyone ever seen the graph of the reciprocal of sine, cos or tan? Oh, you looked it up? Okay. So first step, you want to find all the helpful stuff. So the amplitude for this one is it's not 1. Thank you, half. The phase shift, so there's no plus anything at the end. And the horizontal shift, I can't spell horizontal.
No, phase shift is horizontal. No, phase shift is horizontal. No, phase shift is vertical. Vertical shift. Wait, what?
phase shift is horizontal, right?
Yeah.
Vertical shift is 0.
Vertical shift is 0. So there's no shifting, there's no plussing at the end. And the period is 2 pi over b, which is 1 There's no coefficient out the front of x, so it's just 2 pi. Okay, so we figured out those things. So now we can start graphing. So if we want to graph sec, we graph the reciprocal of sec first. So the reciprocal of sec is cos. So third letter, cos. Okay, where does cos start? Do you remember? It starts here. Y equals 1. So that's normal cos. And we discussed the amplitude is a half. So it's going up to 0.5. It's going down to negative 0.5. Okay. And it finishes where it started because we're going between 2 pi and negative 2 pi, and that's our period. So it's beginning and ending at the same point. So we want to label the axes accordingly. Any questions so far? So that is y equals half cos x. Okay, now we're going to graph the reciprocal. So wherever it touches the top of the amplitude, the top of the curve, that's where the reciprocal, the sec function, touches the cosec function. So it's just kind of like the same shape, but in reverse. Label the original. So you don't forget labels.
So does it have no x-intercept?
But as long as you label each one.
Do we have to sketch the original graph, or can we just do a dotted line?